tap it up. Let's go to work. Tap it up.
The lights of Las Vegas burned brighter than ever on fight night. The crowd was electric, their cheers reverberating through the T-Mobile Arena as two of boxing's pound-for-pound greats, Canelo Álvarez and Terence Crawford, stepped into the ring. The world had waited for this moment, and the anticipation had built to a crescendo. It wasn't just a fight, it was history in the making. This showdown was more than a clash of two elite athletes. It was a collision of styles, legacies, and ambitions. Álvarez, the Mexican warrior, entered the ring as a four-division world champion, known for his powerful punches and granite chin. Crawford, the slick Nebraska native, was an undefeated three-division champion renowned for his versatility and ring IQ. Both men had plenty to prove, and neither planned to leave the ring without victory. Canelo came into the fight as a seasoned fighter with 63 professional bouts under his belt. His greatest strengths lie in his power and counterpunching. Few in the sport can match his ability to land devastating shots in close quarters. Canelo's bodywork is legendary. His liver punches have left many opponents crumbling to their knees. What's more, Álvarez is a patient predator in the ring. He doesn't waste punches. He reads his opponents like a master chess player, calculating their every move before delivering a punishing blow. His defense, honed through years of experience, allows him to slip punches and keep the fight on his terms. However, there were questions about his stamina. In recent bouts, Canelo had shown signs of fading in the later rounds. Could he keep up with the relentless pace of Crawford? That was a question that loomed large over this fight. On the other side, Crawford entered the ring with an aura of invincibility. The man known as Bud had an undefeated record and had finished an impressive number of his fights by knockout. Crawford's ability to switch seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw stances is one of his most unique attributes. This adaptability allows him to keep his opponents guessing and exploit their weaknesses. Crawford's speed and timing are second to none. He can outmaneuver his opponents, making them look like amateurs at times. His ring IQ is extraordinary, enabling him to adjust his strategy mid-fight, a skill that has allowed him to dominate every division he's entered. But there were skeptics. Crawford, for all his brilliance, had never faced a fighter as physically imposing as Canelo. Could he withstand the Mexican's power? And would his tendency to start slow prove costly against such a dangerous foe? As the opening bell rang, the fight immediately lived up to its billing. Canelo came out aggressively, seeking to impose his power early. He landed a thunderous left hook to Crawford's body in the first round, causing the crowd to erupt. But Crawford, calm as ever, used his jab to create distance and began to establish his rhythm. By the middle rounds, it was clear this was a fight of inches. Canelo's body shots were taking their toll on Crawford, who winced with each blow. But Crawford's footwork and sharp counters kept him competitive. In the fifth round, Crawford landed a crisp counter uppercut that snapped Canelo's head back, a reminder of his own punching power. The tide began to turn in the seventh round. Crawford, now fighting out of the southpaw stance, started to take control. His jab disrupted Canelo's timing, and his combinations became more fluid. Canelo, visibly slowing, struggled to cut off the ring as Crawford danced around him. In the championship rounds, Crawford was in full command. He peppered Canelo with precise combinations, exploiting the Mexican's fatigue. In the 12th round, Crawford delivered a dazzling display of skill, landing a series of punches that left no doubt in the judges' minds. When the final bell rang, both fighters raised their hands, but the result was clear to most observers. The judges scored the fight unanimously for Terence Crawford, who was crowned the victor in one of the greatest fights of this generation. Crawford's ability to adapt and exploit Canelo's weaknesses proved decisive. He neutralized Canelo's power with his movement, and overwhelmed him with his precision. It wasn't just a victory. It was a statement. Crawford had solidified his place as one of the best fighters in boxing history. While Crawford walked away with the win, both fighters left the ring with their legacies intact. Canelo, ever the warrior, showed why he is one of the sport's most beloved champions. He pushed Crawford to his limits and fought with the heart of a lion. As for Crawford, his performance elevated him to a new level of greatness. He showed that in the world of boxing, skill and strategy often trump brute force. The fight will be remembered not just for its outcome, but for the artistry displayed by two of the sport's finest.